Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. A senior specialist with W.H.O. provides explanation on vaccination approval process. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Thursday, 11th November 2021. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grannans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. W.H.O. provides further details on vaccination approval process. Raghib Aparicio of ABS News reports.
I cannot think of a better product that has done more for public health than vaccines have. In fact, somebody once remarked saying you have adults because of vaccines. If you didn't have a vaccine, then 7 or 8 out of every 10 children would die in childhood of diseases.
Last week, Covaxin became the 8th COVID-19 vaccine to be granted emergency use listing by the World Health Organization. Over 300 different COVID-19 vaccines remain at different stages of development. WHO Chief Scientist Dr. Soumya Swaminathan explains emergency approval is only granted following rigorous testing.
Normally, it takes 5 to 10 years to test a vaccine and then to roll it out. But in a pandemic, every day people are dying. You cannot wait. And that is why the best assessments are done before it's approved, but then you continue to monitor, you continue to look at efficacy and safety, and you can always change that if you find anything concerning.
The World Health Organization has also warned SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, continues to mutate. The WHO chief scientist shares how vaccines previously granted approval are reassessed when new variants emerge.
The initial trials are done on 20,000-30,000 people. But then when it's given to millions of people, you can really find out if there are some rare side effects. So both are important. And in that process, we generate information on vaccine effectiveness against different variants.
Dr. Swaminathan says availing yourself of any vaccine is a risk. However, those risks should be measured against their benefits. The World Health Organization, she adds, has a global advisory committee on vaccine safety.
And whenever there is a signal, we inform, we put out a report, and we also change the guidelines so that people who are using the vaccine are aware. But I can say that till now, with the vaccines that we have approved, there has not been any signal which has been so worrying that we need to say, well, we need to rethink this vaccine.
Raghib Aparicio reporting for ABS News.
Trinidad's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has signaled government will not be seeking an extension of the state of emergency ahead of the November 29th expiration. Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Avery Hines says it's up to you, members of the public, to behave in a manner to limit exposure. Overshitawari Rupnarayan of TV6 News reports.
Over the past month, Trinidad and Tobago not only confirmed community spread of the Delta variant of COVID-19, but also saw a steady increase in activity with the staggered opening of certain sectors.
Look at the data from week 25 through to the present time. There are several counties that are seeing that sort of upward trend, progressively taller bars, moving from left to right. On the right-hand side of each group, we're seeing where some counties have been seeing 3 or 4 weeks now of increasing bars going a little higher each week. And that, again, is the sort of upward trend that we've been describing that is now being disaggregated at the county level.
Daily averages of 200 now hover over the 300 marker. And with the state of emergency and curfew enforced to limit people's mobility due to expire on November 29th, comes a warning from those keeping the tolls.
Increased movement is going to increase the risk of infected people coming into contact with uninfected individuals. And whether there is an enforced restriction of movement or not, what we want to have the population understand and abide by is the fact that once you reduce your risk of contact by reducing unnecessary movement, by adhering to the public health guidelines, by getting vaccinated, by keeping masks on both in enclosed areas and in vehicles, etc. These are the only things that are really going to help us to reduce that rapid increase that is possible if we have unfettered movement and lack of adherence to these restrictions.
Your health and that of those around you will be defined by the choices you make and level of exposure you choose to be subject to.
So the guidelines that have always been in place continue to be part of your protection, and whether it's enforced or not by law, the guidelines around movement and reducing unnecessary movement are scientifically the things that are going to help you to reduce your risk. So excellent question. With or without enforcement of reduced mobility, we do need to behave ourselves in a manner that will reduce our risk of contracting virus as we go about our daily business.
The initial state of emergency was imposed on midnight of May 15th, 2021. It was extended for a 3-month period from May 29th to August 29th and further extended until November 29th. Further extension requires a special majority from both houses of Parliament. Oversee Tamari Rupnarine, TV6 News.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Former top cop Gary Griffith says he cannot confirm or deny whether the public official intervened in the process for appointing a police commissioner. Still, he's sending a message to the person that if they have a concern about him, they should deal with it in Parliament. Griffith says the record will show that his performance in office was unparalleled. And as for the people who have a gripe with his personality, well, it's just part of the package. TV6's Renessa Cutting reports.
In his first sit-down interview since the Police Service Commission imbroglio, former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith revealed on TV6's Morning Edition that he had known about the Prime Minister's loss of confidence in him since last year.
It was brought to my attention by the PSC. It was dealt with. As I said, that matter was over and done, as could have been seen when the Prime Minister and his government voted to amend the law for Gary Griffith to act as Commissioner of Police after August the 16th.
This admission is also the first time it has been put on the record that the legislative change was made solely to accommodate the former top cop. So what went wrong? Griffith suspects it could be linked to his outspoken demeanor.
And there may be other individuals in a certain time who may not want to see me because of my popularity, because of my personality. It doesn't matter, because regardless of what, if you don't want Gary Griffith, you deal with it in Parliament where it matters. Someone should not try to hide a merit list, scrap a merit list, put a merit list in a drawer. Deal with it. Our Constitution has set to appoint a Commissioner of Police. A merit list was completed, forwarded to Parliament, and reject me if that be the case.
But Griffith says the only person to blame for the entire debacle is the former PSC chairman, Bliss Sipasad, as even if there was an attempt at interference, the commission is supposed to be independent.
In fact, there would be an investigation soon enough on her for what she had done.
Parliament will meet on Wednesday to approve the new candidates for the commission. And Griffith says it is hoped the new PSC will do the right thing by honouring the existing merit list. And he says his record speaks for itself.
In the last 18 months when I was in office, there were over 200 less murders than the same period last year. In the last 10 weeks when I was not there were 50 more murders. So for all of the critics who claim that in the last 18 months where there was a constant decrease in murders every single month for almost 18 months, say that it was because of COVID, it was because of SOE, it was because of this curfew. I don't know. I don't know if COVID and the SOE and the curfew ended in the last 10 weeks.
Still, it will be up to the Parliament to decide who will be the next top cop. But Griffith says, come what may, the country has not seen the last of Gary Griffith.
I give the assurance to this country that Gary Griffith is a boomerang, and I would be back. Whatever form or fashion, you have not heard the last of Gary Griffith.
Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
2 youths fingered in the death of Dr. Colin Roach appeared in court on Wednesday morning in Georgetown, Guyana. They were spotted on surveillance cameras in the area and pursued by police to the point where they were attempting to cross the border with Suriname. More in this Newsroom Guyana report with Gordon Mosley.
19-year-old Hilton Franklin and his friend 18-year-old Lenrick Byers were charged with the murder of Dr. Colin Roach. Both men have been remanded to jail. The two teens appeared before the Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan and the Georgetown Magistrates Court this morning, and they were not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. They will make their next court appearance on the 30th of November. Both teens are being represented by attorneys Dexter Smart and Shakola Exeter. Last Tuesday night, the body of Dr. Colin Roach was found on the floor of the examination room at his International Medical Center on Duke Street. His head was bashed in. The doctor was last seen alive by his staff members when they left the office the same afternoon. The body was discovered by one of the employees who live in the same building where the medical center is located. The employee reportedly went to turn off the lights in the doctor's office after noticing them on late on Tuesday night when he stumbled on the body. An alarm was raised and the police and emergency services were contacted. Dr. Roach was pronounced dead on scene and his body taken to a city morgue. The doctor's vehicle, which was spotted on surveillance video being driven away from the scene, was later recovered abandoned at Schoonard on the west bank of the Demerara. The main accused in the matter was nabbed last Thursday morning while attempting to flee to neighboring Suriname. The other young man, Lenrick Byers, was arrested the following day. The two were reportedly spotted on surveillance video from nearby buildings as they left the doctor's office on the same night that he was found dead. Dr. Colin Roach was one of only 2 doctors authorized locally to conduct medical examinations for persons seeking immigrant visas for the U.S. Embassy, and was once a clinical physician for the U.S. CDC office here in Guyana. He was praised by the Ministry of Health as one of the pioneering doctors in Guyana who revolutionized laboratory science in the country. Dr. Roach was 49 years old.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Granans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I
I'm Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.